Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to SEMO TV. I'm your host, SEMO, and today we're right back into it with Iran. It has been a very eventful weekend, and so here we are in the United States. It's Monday, and what a weekend. Well, we've got to talk about this stuff, guys, because we definitely were a little bit ahead of the curve. And first of all, I just want to thank everybody out there who's liked and subscribed to this channel. It's not easy starting a new channel. And you guys out there, I really appreciate it. The fact that there are some of you out there who, appreciate what I'm doing. I can't tell you how much that fills my heart. So thank you guys so much. And it really means a lot if you like any of the videos I'm doing. I think a like is really just like, hey guys, just it just helps the channel grow. And a comment is like a Yelp review. Usually, like if it's a really good video, I might get a comment, or if you think it's a really bad video, I might get a comment. So I'm cool with that as well. But let's keep it going. So what happened this weekend? Well, I think what happened was Donald Trump got all the credit and Bibi got all the blame, and everybody's real happy with that. The Iranian people certainly are celebrating. They're dancing in the streets, which means that Trump got the credit. That also means white liberal women are freaking out everywhere, wondering what happened and why nobody's listening to them. And does that bring you joy? Because it certainly brought me a little joy. And, there's been a shift. You guys probably feel it out there. In fact, it's kind of why I started this channel. And if you go back into some of the earlier videos, I think you notice I tried to get a little ahead of this. Not just the Iran thing, but the shift in general. And, I'm just starting out with this channel. So a lot of it is just dumping some of these videos out right now until I can get a little better at making them and actually throwing some clips in there and really, doing the right thing with this channel. So until I'm really good at presenting in a much more media focused sense, for now, I just need to get these videos out to you guys, and hopefully you're liking everything I've got to say so far. And even if you don't, again, I'm not trying to be right. I'm just trying to get it right. And not everything I'm saying is certainly going to be right. But, I'm just trying to mix it up a little with you guys. And I really appreciate anybody who's spending any time at all to watch and to hear what I've got to say, to comment, let me know what you're thinking. And definitely got a great comment, a few great comments over the last few videos. But certainly when it comes to Iran, I think that the global play is certainly something we have to look at. I think we've been spending a lot of time talking about Trump and Bibi, rightfully so. But really, it's a global power play. And I think that's an absolutely right way to kind of go into this video here, which is that China and Russia rely a lot on Iranian oil, and they get it kind of discounted, and they're, who knows really, honestly, how they really work their deals, but we're disrupting that right now. And that can't be a good thing for them or for how they run their businesses. So what's that blowback going to be like? Is it going to be, let's negotiate, let's get to the negotiating table and make some deals? Or is it going to be like, hey, this is a direct threat and we're not having it? I think it's going to be more the former. I think we're going to have, people coming to the table saying, hey, America, we don't want to mess with you. We just want, what we've had before, which is good oil or, decent price. And we'll just try to keep what we have going, and you guys do what you want to do. And really what that does is it brings back power to the petrodollar. That's probably one of the biggest things that I haven't heard many people talking about. And for the last few years, we've really been losing a lot of power in the petrodollar. And now that this Iranian thing seems to be happening for the Western world and for the greater good, for the, I guess you could say that, of the Western world, the petrodollar should strengthen. And with that in mind, I think that the ideals of the West are what will strengthen. And is that a threat to China and Russia? Yeah, probably is. Does that mean that it will lead to conflict? Hopefully not the bombing kind. So, let's take this one slow and let's see how things add up. I don't have all the answers, of course. Maybe you guys have something you would like to add to this. I'd love to hear from you. But let's get a little bit more into what we know so far. What we know so far is the morning that it happened, we had some far lefties. They dropped a tweet. I think it was Rashida Tlaib. I could be wrong about which one of the squad members dropped the tweet, but they said that a U.S. and Israel missile struck a school. So I guess we now have missiles that come from, I guess they fire them at the same time, one from America and one from Israel, and they target schools. Is that what we have now? Is that the new thing? Pretty amazing weapon system. Yes, that's what the left would have you believe. No, that's not what actually happened. It looks from the video, the only evidence we actually have, it looks like it was kind of a misfired Iranian missile, and tragic it absolutely was. That's unfortunate, but that's not really what any of this is about. So just a sad part of this situation. What we do know is that the Iranian people, and I don't think there's, except for maybe the military and the Ayatollah and his family, are probably just about every other people, all the other Iranian people are celebrating across the world. And it's joy. The Israeli people, the Jewish people, all across the world are celebrating in joy. Most people in the West are celebrating, as this is a regime change of some of the most old school ideas of how to run a country. And, 47 years of this kind of rule seems to be over. So it seems like an advancement. And Donald Trump definitely said to these people, hey, you're not going to have a lot of time, but this is yours to take. So go take it. Pretty bold words. And, I hope that and it looks like the Iranian people got that message, luckily, because I know that the internet was down. I know that it was very hard for them to get any information, but it does look like they were able to broadcast that message on their airwaves. So hopefully the Iranian people are taking this situation as seriously as they can and as expediently as they can. And, if it turns into boots on the ground from American soldiers, as we all hope it doesn't, it will be a different situation. I think we'll actually have to call it a war at that point, which a lot of people seem to be signaling that is what they would classify as an actual war. What else did we see this weekend? Well, we saw a lot of Iranian missiles being fired in the direction of many different places, but especially Israel and especially Tel Aviv. The Iron Dome actually, to some degree, didn't work perfectly, but it worked quite well. I saw quite a few videos of missiles striking in Israel, and there seemed to be a few videos, I guess maybe of the same few that hit, but I was expecting to wake up and see nothing but news about Israel being struck by missiles, and surprisingly, that wasn't the case. So when I looked it up, it turns out maybe one or two people in Tel Aviv were actually killed by missile strikes. At least at the filming of this video, that's what seems to be official at this point. More in other places that I've seen, but still no major hundreds of people anywhere. It's been kind of on the, tens of people in places. And the other thing that I noticed was right before the American strikes, there were allegedly Iranian strikes, and they just seemed to be hitting some very random targets that were near naval bases, but they just didn't seem like effective strikes. So that always is strange to me. Again, it's a fog of war. So what can we really believe in these situations? Then we have Bibi Netanyahu, who, is getting a lot of the blame. Definitely, not to say that that's not expected. And I think that Bibi is probably not too worried about getting all that blame. That definitely seems like par for the course. And, I think that also is the fact that Donald Trump led this cause. I think the Zionists and the the people that kind of back Israel, I'll just say that, certainly seem to be very happy about this weekend. And, I think that they're very happy that Trump led it, because I think they very much understand that if Bibi did, the whole Middle East would probably be against this intervention. And so seems like a win-win-win. America's winning, Israel's winning, Iranians are winning. White liberal women, not winning. So, okay. So far so good. I mean, it's stacking okay. Now, what comes next? Well, I mean, we're not out of the woods. In fact, this is like a short-lived celebration. I think that, first of all, we've had open borders under Joe Biden for 4 years. So are there sleeper cells here in America? Very likely. Number two, we've got our markets, and there's still troubles that we can't understand that are well beyond being fixed by this foreign intervention. We've got AI taking over massive amounts of American jobs. So there's that. There's AI companies that are over leveraged all over the place. So is that like the new .com bubble going to burst? I don't know. So there's a lot to talk about. But it does seem like there's a shift, and that's kind of the essence of this video. It's kind of why I started the channel. I do think there's a major shift, a global shift, a reset. Is it going to be a market correction? Is it going to be a market collapse? Is it going to be a digital asset reset? Are we going from the dollar to, a central bank digital currency, or to Bitcoin, or to XRP? Your guess is as good as mine. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. But definitely a shift, right? I mean, it feels like that. So it feels like that to a lot of people I speak to. I don't care which side of the aisle they're on. They all feel like there's a lot happening right now. And I think a lot of people are confused. I think a lot of people it's hard for them to keep an eye on any one ball, because it's like juggling, and they just keep throwing more obstacles into this juggling mix. And you have to be a real professional juggler, and most people don't know even how to juggle in the first place. So we're asking all these regular people to start juggling lots of things. That leads me to the big one, the big slip it under the rug now, which is the Epstein files. Whoa, hey, where'd they go? Epstein files. Look at that. Just kind of. So who do you think are the happiest people on the planet Earth right now? Not the Iranians, Bill and Hillary Clinton. These two were freaking out on Friday. I mean, they were beside themselves. They were hooting and hollering and screaming and freaking out. And now they're like, oh, thank God. There's the weight's off our shoulders. They're talking about something else. The news is focused somewhere else. So, again, is this a distraction? Yeah. Is it a distraction that takes all of the people that are benefiting from this war, and those are the same people that were in the files? Yeah. Yes, it does. So I think we've got to really keep our heads on us, keep our heads about us, keep our heads on a swivel, and not let these things get away from us. So, and that's kind of the update for today. Yes, again, I think it's a net positive for the globe at this point, everything I'm seeing. What do you guys think? Do you think it is? I think that if you're freaking out and you find that this weekend was not a positive, I'd love to hear your comments and thoughts, as long as it doesn't have to do with your hatred for Donald Trump, because that's the only thing I've ever heard from the left. And I'd love to hear something that isn't that. If you've got something else to bring to the table that isn't rooted in a hatred for Donald Trump, please let's talk about that, because there's got to be something missing in there. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody on the left could have something of substance that isn't like rooted in TDS, I would be totally open to hearing it. But for now, it seems like the things that are happening are pretty solid. And I think that could change. What's China and Russia going to get out of this? Are we going to disrupt China and Russia to the point where it's going to be a conflict to a massive degree, or is it just going to be they're just going to start dealing with us now? I don't know. I don't know. Is China going to threaten Taiwan now that we are, messing with them? I don't know. I don't know. Is Russia going to start being crazy, heavier on the Ukrainian border? I don't know. These are questions I have, but we'll see what starts to transpire. We have seen that, in the fog of war, while these things are going off, while these missiles are popping off, a lot of people are popping off. It's almost like when there's a fight in the schoolyard and the bully goes down, a lot of kids start coming up to kick him in the head. And, there's like that mess right now. So we've seen kind of a little bit of like these pop-offs all over the place. And Austin, Texas, Pakistan, there's just these little pop-offs. And I don't know if we're done with that. I'm surprised that we saw, I really thought the Tel Aviv thing was going to be bigger. It doesn't seem like it was that crazy or that bad. And, for Bibi to be threatening, I mean, it was a veiled threat of nuclear, going nuclear, which we've said on this channel quite a bit. Is Bibi looking to go nuclear? We think so. Does 1 or 2 missiles landing in Israel give them the right to go nuclear? Of course not. Do they think it does? Of course they do. And by they, I mean the Israel government. I think, Bibi and his cabinet. I think it's something that they've been looking to do. So we'll see. I certainly hope not. Hopefully Trump still got him a bit on a short leash. But again, time will tell. Will this be an actual war, or is it kind of going to be just a one and done Venezuela type situation? Couldn't tell you. But again, time will tell. And so far, let's give credit where credit is due. I think Donald Trump's done a very good job. I think this has been very concise. He's kept his word. As I mentioned in the last video, he told the protesters, we've got your back. And now he's finally delivered on that promise. So I think we can give the guy credit. And the Middle East still wants to kind of condemn Bibi in this whole situation. So I think that works out best for the way Bibi likes to roll, which is everybody hates me and I need to protect myself and my Israeli people. Yes. Yes. Okay. So everybody gets what they want. And the Iranian people as well. And the liberal women, the liberal white women still get to complain. And that's just, everybody's just getting what they want. I think that's wonderful. I think the white liberal women can go buy their, $15 strawberries at Erewhon and then complain that their housekeeper just, showed up a little late to work because they were worried about their families. And then they give them grace. Like, no, I totally understand why you need to be late today. I'm only going to dock you for 15 minutes instead of a half hour. Brilliant. I love it. So I think everybody's winning. Everybody's winning, So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments. And thanks for the likes. Even if you don't like the video, it helps the channel right now. I'm not taking it as a personal like. Really, if you like the video, I'm not even taking it as a personal like. Leave me a comment telling me you like it. That I'll take as a personal like. Leave me a comment telling me you didn't like the video. I won't take it that personally, but listen, it's like a bad Yelp review. I get it, and you're welcome to do it. It's, hey, that's what it's there for. I do that too. If I really like somebody's video, I'm going to give them a good comment. If I really don't like somebody's video, I'm going to give them a comment. So you're welcome to do the same to me. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. And I appreciate you guys out there. Thank you so much for watching. And we'll see you on the next one. Wherever it is you are, whatever it is you're doing. I'm your boy, Simo, coming to you from Simo TV.